This was an historically successful attack.
The Pentagon shared this test video showing how 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs like this one were used to strike Iran's nuclear facilities. Inside Iran, a government spokeswoman tells us the regime is not giving up its ambitions.
From CBS News headquarters in New York, this is the CBS Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Maurice Dubois. John is off tonight. CBS News has learned that the Trump administration is considering several options to entice Iran back to negotiations over its nuclear program. We are told this includes helping Iran access billions of dollars to build a non-weaponized nuclear energy program. Top Pentagon officials held a news conference today to emphasize how effective they believe last weekend's U.S. strikes were, and they used test video of that bunker buster bomb to show the potential destruction to Iran's nuclear facilities. We have new reporting from Imtiaz Tyab inside Iran, and we begin with Charlie D'Agata at the Pentagon tonight. Charlie?
Hey, Maurice, the question tonight is what remains of Iran's nuclear capabilities after those bombing raids? And honestly, we are no closer to having an answer. In a contentious briefing here at the Pentagon today, we learned a lot of new details about how they were conducted, but very little about what damage was done. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Air Force General Dan Caine, explained the U.S. began secretly designing the bomb specifically to target Iran's Fordo facility 15 years ago. B-2 stealth bombers dropped multiple bombs down ventilation shafts.
We know how historic it was.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth offered no evidence of specific damage to Iran's nuclear program. Instead, he scolded the press for reporting on an early Pentagon intelligence assessment that the strikes only set the program back a few months.
Anyone with two eyes, some ears, and a brain can recognize that kind of firepower with that specificity at that location and others is going to have a devastating effect.
Hegseth pointed to what he called credible evidence in the CIA's assessment that Iran's nuclear program had suffered severe damage. So you cited a body of credible intelligence to suggest that the damage at Fordo and other places. What is that referring to, and when can we see it?
I was reading from the CIA director's statement. He's going to know things that you're not going to know, that the press isn't going to know, and he's reflecting that the sources he's seeing are highly credible.
But don't you think we need to see that?
Do you have a top secret clearance, sir?
The intelligence assessment matters, nuclear analyst Joe Cirincione argues, because the Iranians claim they moved a stockpile of near weapons-grade uranium before the strikes. How much of a danger does that pose right now?
The great danger is that Iran has enough centrifuges and enough 60% enriched uranium to make the core of a bomb.
You think there's a possibility of going back?
The two great dangers here is that these strikes have convinced Iran's leaders that the hardline factions in the government are right, that they should sprint to a bomb. They've always had the capability. They've had it for years, but not the intent. Now they may have the intent.
Charlie, all things considered at this point, is there any hope of weapons inspectors actually getting into Iran to take a look for themselves?
Yeah, Maurice, that's looking less likely tonight, too. We learned tonight that the Iranian parliament has ratified legislation stating that Iran will suspend cooperation with the IAEA. Now, that could become critical because the nuclear watchdog was the last to know the whereabouts and amount of that uranium. They could also provide a neutral assessment of exactly how much damage was caused to Iran's nuclear program, too. So inspectors left Iran a few weeks ago before Israel's bombing campaign. They also had a handle on how much uranium was enriched and to what degree, essentially how close the Iranians have come to building a bomb.
Okay, Charlie D'Agata at the Pentagon tonight. Thank you. Iran's supreme leader for more than 3 decades emerged from hiding today and congratulated the Iranian people on what he claimed was a decisive victory over the United States and Israel. Inside Iran, internet service has been restored after 2 weeks of war, but social media platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, are still blocked by the government. Imtiaz Tyab continues his reporting now from Tehran. To remind you here, his movements are closely watched by Iran's government. Imtiaz.
Maurice, good evening. Well, Iranian lawmakers have tonight decided to suspend cooperation with the UN's nuclear watchdog. Now, we were invited to interview the government's main spokeswoman, who told us the nation's nuclear program would still continue as the country's supreme leader downplayed any damage caused to the facilities.
In a taped address, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei lashed out at Israel and the U.S., saying Iran had, quote, delivered a slap to America's face. The supreme leader had not been seen in public since a ceasefire was reached with Israel after 12 days of devastating war. We met the Iranian government spokeswoman Fatima Mohajerani at her offices here in Tehran. She told us her country would continue to pursue its nuclear program.
We had no intention to move towards a nuclear bomb. It's Israel that has 90 nuclear warheads, but we did not want to go that way. Nonetheless, we will obtain the scientific knowledge to do what we want with our program.
Since we arrived in Iran, what struck us is how Iranians from across the political spectrum, and who often agree on very little, said outside forces bombing their nation is no path forward.
The result was deep solidarity. Even those who had open grievances came together to help support Iran.
The official line from the leadership is that Iran's nuclear program is far from obliterated, as President Trump has insisted.
These facilities have been seriously damaged. Any further reports should come from technical experts in the field.
So there is a possibility that these sites have been completely destroyed.
I want to stress that these facilities have been seriously damaged. However, we must wait for the reports.
So, Imtiaz, with this kind of destruction, how are the Iranians thinking about their nuclear program in the long term?
Well, what's been interesting is that in all our trips here to Iran, it's clear that this is a nation that deeply reveres its over 3,000 years of history and culture. And so it's been explained to us that the current Iranian leadership's concept of time may differ from how we may understand it, meaning that if its nuclear program has indeed been set back by months or even years, for them, they feel they can get it back to where they want it to be, whenever that might be.